Says we're here. This is one of those times. It's one of those days. I don't know that I believe that we're really here until somebody else validates my existence, because it's just how the day has been going.
Mm-hmm.
I would not put it past all of the tech things to just poof, right.
Yeah.
That would be
par for the course.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. Yep. So we are here super early. Is it because we don't trust our own tech? I feel like it might be. Just saying.
I got an ad.
Okay, I will push on as if we really are here, and we can redo it if we're not. Hello.
Hi.
What's my name? Kayla Lords.
JB. John Brownstone.
Loving BDSM, where we help kinksters like you have happy, healthy power exchange relationships. This is our weekly live stream. We record our podcast, the audio version of which hits all major podcast apps every Friday. We are here 11 minutes early. Yeah, we're super early for the party. If you are here for the live and you're like, that's way too early, that's too much butt rub, you've got time. Go forth, get a snack, go to the bathroom, do whatever you need to do. And if you are here after the live stream, but before I put in timestamps and you really don't like the idle chit chat, fast forward by a minimum of 11 minutes, because y'all know me. And thank you, Andre, for validating my existence. Hi, Jay. Hi, Andre. Hi, Mally. Hi, DS Bunny. Hello. And you normally I have a face on. Today was not that day.
Nope.
Today was not that day. I've officially and genuinely been working since 5:30 this morning. The moment I thought about like actually applying something to my face to only take it off a few hours later, I just went, no.
Well, that makes it easier for
This
when
is
we're
my
done.
line in the sand. I will not.
Yeah, well, I mean.
You're in a PJ shirt.
Yeah.
I totally get it.
Yep.
Hi, Kitty. Hi, Rara. Yeah, I would love to curl up and go to sleep right now.
Same.
Yeah.
Same.
Does that mean we'll actually get to bed at a decent hour and go to sleep?
Probably not.
Probably not.
No.
Well, and I'm guessing we probably won't tonight, but we have been watching Bridgerton. We just finished season 1 last night, so we're like waiting to start season 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm already looking forward to watching Queen Charlotte. So, hi, Mr. Pfister. Oh, goodness. What you got for the butt rub? Other than that we look tired. And like we have no fucks to give. None whatsoever.
Today started out kind of as a good day. And then it went downhill.
See, I think you and I experienced the day quite differently.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You.
Oh, God.
You got it right out of...
It's
before
what
you even get out of bed.
This is what I get from eyes open, I grab phone, and I look. And the very first app I open is Discord. Mm-hmm. Not because I do much on Discord. It is only because of the Loving BDSM server, available through our Patreon. And I always check it. I think to make sure nothing blew up overnight.
Mm.
And this was one of those times where it's like, oh, this is why I check it first thing. So yeah, and DS Benny, we love it. We are hooked. We are all about Bridgerton now. Very, very, very excited.
I'm into it as well. Mm-hmm. I like it as well.
So I was reminded of a thing with Bridgerton. I love to read romance. The smuttier, the spicier, the borderline. It's mostly just like porn with a couple of like bits of dialogue in between. I love to read sex scenes. Love them. I don't love watching them. It's too close to voyeurism. And maybe it is voyeurism. I don't know. Like, I am not that person who goes, oh, why is there a sex scene? No. Put the sex scene in. It moves a story along. It tells me about their relationship. You can learn a lot from a character from their face. Like, I'm there, but I also am like, oh my God, I need to look somewhere else. I don't want to look at Simon's like face. I don't want to look at it. I don't want to watch him while he, pretends to orgasm. I don't. So, yeah. Hi, Susan. But yeah, we're hooked on Bridgerton.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Woo! Andre, I am feeling a lot of empathy for you today.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I don't remember the last time we had a vet bill that wasn't in the hundreds of dollars. So, yeah, that really, really sucks.
And I hope after all that, the cat's okay.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Especially after that. You spend that money, then please let them be okay.
Right.
Lola is a little feisty over there. Has she finally settled down?
Settle down now.
She keeps getting up and like rummaging around in her blankets.
Yeah. It's because it's clean. I washed
It's
it, so
true.
now she's got to
Get her smell back over. Yeah.
and arrange it the way.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, she will for a time sleep on it. You'll fold it all nice and put it on top of her little cot. And she'll sleep on it real nice. And then there comes a point she's like, no.
Fuck it.
I need it messier than this.
There we go.
Yep. Hi, Mr. Spock. So.
Yeah, no, my day started out better than yours.
Yeah.
I'll say that. And but then it didn't take long for things to start.
Oh, see, we've been on two completely different paths today in our own world. I don't know anything about your day. I don't know what you've been through.
Yeah, you do. You were out there when I told you about.
that was later this afternoon.
Okay,
I'm thinking like the start of your workday.
Well, yeah, the start of my workday started out very well.
Oh, see, that's what I'm saying. Yes, I know you had a thing, but your thing was like mid-afternoon. I thought you were talking about earlier in your day.
That's when I told you about it.
Oh, okay. Okay. Hi, Silent. Hi, Jen.
So, but yeah, that's when that happened.
Yeah, roof fun times with the roof.
Yeah, that too. The not necessarily, well, kind of the roof, the fascia.
The way you explained it to me is it was part of the roof.
It has to do with the roof, yes.
Okay, it's part of the roof.
Yeah.
Anything involving any part of the roof on our house,
Yep.
I'm paying attention.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, a section of the fascia on the north side of the house just decided to let go and drop down.
And see, and I still don't know exactly which part we are talking about. I believe you. I have not, I'm like, yep, I don't know what that part is.
Didn't you come out and I showed it to you?
Nope.
No. Okay. All right.
You told me you were going to, and then you wandered off, and then I've refocused
I just wanted to get it fixed.
So.
And it was kind of interesting, for that entire run down the side of the house and to the corner, 2 nails.
Is that because that's what's left, or that's all that was used originally?
That's all that was used.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
What I love is that you use words like north, the north side, the south side. I don't have a compass.
North, south,
Nope.
east,
Nope.
west.
Nope. I can only tell you which direction might be where when the sun is out and it's AM or PM. Because I know it comes up from the east and sets in the west.
Right. So, that tells you right there. In the morning, the sun is over that way. There's east. At night, it sets over there. There's your west.
Yeah. No,
So
I have to be looking directly at the sun.
South.
And then I find it hilarious. You think that in any given direction, I'll remember. Like living in this house, I remember on the rare occasion I'm outside in the morning when the sun is kind of like still coming up, that I'm even looking and paying attention, and then that I will remember. Psh, you have a lot more faith in me than you should.
Yeah.
I taste you. Yeah, no, I don't remember. I don't know. Just tell me, give me landmarks. That is true for directions, like driving directions, of course. Walking directions, please. But even where it is on our house, tell me 14-year-old's bedroom, our bedroom, garage.
The boys' side of the house.
Okay. I'm with you. So. Don't know.
So shoot.
I barely know my left from my right. I already thank God for the trick. True. Okay. Left hand makes an L, right hand makes a right angle. I mostly just have to remember the L because I know I'm right-handed, so that's easy. But if I have to like pick a direction real quick and you're like, turn left. Okay. It's not, oh, what's the term? There's a term I can't think of. Ooh, it's gonna be a great podcast / live stream if I've already forgotten words.
I hope you ain't asking me to carry it because that ain't gonna happen.
No, I think we can't ever promise rants, but I think at least one might seriously annoy me. So, there we go. The energy will come once the emotions get high and I get annoyed. Just saying. Let's see. Yeah, no. There really was a phrase that I was gonna say and use, but now I don't have to think of it because it's actually 7 p.m.
Okay.
And we can get started. Hello, as you can tell from the title. We're in do some BDSM Reddit response situation over here. No promises on rants, but you never know. If you enjoy this, we love a thumbs up. If you like it enough to want to come back for more, if you like it enough to want to come back for more, holy shit, please consider subscribing.
And when you subscribe, go ahead and ring the notification bell to get updates, new content. And hello, everybody. Welcome.
Just do what Daddy says. Please don't follow me. Follow JB because he at least knows his directions, north and south and all that. He'll get you there. Anyway, I think we'll just go into you hitting the button because I got
click some buttons.
I feel like I've got 85 million fucking announcements this week, so let's just get into it.
So, all right, we're gonna do that.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna turn a fan on.
Okay, so before we get into whatever Reddit does to my blood pressure, we have several announcements. I thought it was just going to be one, and then I realized it was two, and then I realized it was three. So the first is just a reminder: we are still collecting questions for our Monday episodes. We're gonna kind of let them lump up and then start working on them again. So I have a feeling we'll be on a quick break from the Monday episodes for the month of June. That's what I'm thinking. But if you have a question you would like us to answer, it's one of those times you can give a big long backstory. You can get really in the weeds with it. Quite frankly, the best questions are when you give us more detail. I've had to reject a few recently that were what amounted to basically a Google search. And I was like, I don't even this would be a 2-semester college course to try to explain this. So if you have any situational things that you would like us to answer in a future Monday episode, the link is in the places. It takes you to a page that you fill out the information. You can keep yourself anonymous, and then it comes to our email, and I just keep it there until we're ready to record our answer. The second thing is that this is going to be different, not usual. This Saturday, I wrote down the day. No, I didn't write down the day. Saturday, I think it's June 8th. We are going to do a live stream starting at 9:30 p.m. Eastern to celebrate the fact that on YouTube we hit 10,000 subscribers a few days ago. Very exciting. Completely nothing major happens at this number. We were just happy to hit it.
Yeah. Just an arbitrary number that we were shooting for.
It has been teased to me that there might be cake. It has also been teased that there may be a little imbibing to loosen everything up. But we'll treat it similar to the way we do a Friday night live stream. We'll last until probably midnight. We'll hang out, bullshit, just sort of chill, and celebrate the fact that some of y'all are like, yeah, sure, I'll let you show up in my YouTube subscription feed, and we appreciate you. Third announcement. Not planning on having this announcement today, but then I did a thing and I got really focused. So, on our Etsy shop, one of the products that we carry a lot is meant to help with empower exchange relationships for submissive training, for when a submissive is learning new habits or they're trying to remember to do tasks that their dominant partner wants them to do. We make and sell digital planner sheets. So you can print them and use paper and pen, or you can use them like in a digital planner. And we make them for submissives and for dominants. For submissives, we have a daily task planner, we have a weekly habit tracker, we have a monthly habit tracker. For dominants, we created a daily and weekly, I call it an accountability tracker, so you can keep up. Did my submissive do the damn thing today or this week? What am I expecting from my submissive? What did I actually get from my submissive? Are they keeping up with their habits over the course of a week or whatever? So we always have those. I try to add new ones each month. Well, in May and now, early June, doing all Pride themed things that will exist on our Etsy shop long after Pride month, because it ain't just 1 month. It's all year round. It's all the time. But for June, in June, just today, quite frankly, day of recording, I just uploaded a bunch of Pride themed, what I call bundles. So the submissive bundle has two daily task lists, a weekly tracker and a monthly tracker. The dominant bundle has 2 daily tasks sheets and a weekly tracker. But they are, I don't even know how to properly say it, so I hope I do not fuck this up. Basically, it's each of this different, some of each of the different identities that have pride flags. So there's bisexual pride flag theme. There's pansexual pride flag theme. There's asexual. There's aromantic. There's 14 for each dom and sub. Will it be every single possible identity that falls within LGBTQIA+? No, because if I couldn't find artwork, I couldn't do it. But it's a lot, and as I find more to do, I will keep adding it. And in the month of June, all of our Pride stuff, which is all digital downloads right now, 25% off. Just on top. Just take the 25% off. So that literally just got added today, day of recording. Link to our Etsy shop, always in the places. If you are interested, I put everything that's Pride related into a category on our Etsy shop that says Pride Planner Collection. It's not a good name. It's what I came up with on the fly, but if you see Pride, you'll go, oh, that's where I want to go look. So we did that thing to help keep dom subs organized during your submissive training, during your task, during your service, like however your power exchange it works. If you would like something that feels closer to your identity, and you want to save a little bit in the month of June, there you go. It's there. Yay! Yeah. I lost my breath on that one because I didn't actually plan to talk about that one today, y'all. But then I got super, super focused. And a thing that I thought would take me a week took me 5 hours. And it's done. So if anybody's interested, feel free. They will live up on our Etsy shop forever, so you're not going to miss them if like now's not a good time or whatever. It's fine. So yeah. Okay.
I don't think she did breathe today.
No, DS Bunny asked in the live chat, and no, I didn't. I'm not breathing at all right now. I feel like I need to catch my breath. Okay, let's go into these Reddit posts. That was a lot of announcements.
It was.
Yeah. So
It was.
Here we go. The first one we're going to do is one that was sent to us. Did I write down the name of the person who sent it to us? No, but thank you to that person who did. I appreciate it. So let's go ahead and get started. First one. Feeling bad after Dom, air quote, demanded that I shave. Now this is where I have to lean into the screen. Bear with me. During a session, my 32 female, Dom, 47 female, demanded that I completely shave my pubic hair for the next time we see each other. It pulled me right out of what we were doing, and I told them no, which they didn't accept right away because their head was still in our dynamic, and they didn't quite register my shift in tone over the phone. I keep things neatly trimmed, and I don't even enjoy receiving oral. Afterwards, I did tell them how much I didn't like it, and we are planning on talking more about it. I did get a bit defensive and mean. They're usually so good about asking me my limits before introducing new things. I'm upset and hurt. We've been playing for almost a year now, but part of me just wants to end it over this, even though everything was going great up until this incident. I'm feeling so inadequate right now. I typically have a very high sex drive, but I have no desire right now. I'm planning on telling them that we need to go back a few steps and take it down a notch while we rebuild trust. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm of two minds on one part of this. Not the shaving. That is that person's limit, and they get to go, fuck no, I'm not shaving,
Right.
going bare. That's
Absolutely.
fine. The part I'm of two minds on.
Okay.
And the first one was, are you fucking kidding me? And the second one was, well, maybe. Was that they're dominant in that conversation, and it was a phone conversation, so they didn't have necessarily have face
Right.
in body cues. Did not register the tone fast
Yeah.
enough. Like, unless you play with some pushback and maybe bratty behavior or something where you recognize your submissive might go, I'm not doing that, and it's playful. How can you be in a conversation as a dom, get told no,
Yeah. That's
not immediately like clock something's different?
right.
I don't like that
that's,
part.
That's a little difficult, especially since they were been together for at least a year.
Right.
You know, you would think by that point, being with someone, you would picked up some contextual clues.
Right, you would know them
one would-
well enough, maybe, hopefully, and or how deep into top space are you over a phone conversation that
Yeah.
you can't,
Mm-hmm.
except
Yeah.
top space from, not everybody, but it typically means hyper focus, like you're more focused. So, like,
Yeah.
I'm not buying that. I think that a person slipped that in because, as this person says, they normally bring, new things to me in a much better manner.
Right.
I think it was one of those, I'm going to slip it in and see what I can get away with. Let me dom them through this because I really want it. Or let me just see how far I can go. Let's just see what happens. I'm not a fan of that part.
No.
I also can't catch my breath. Hold on a second.
Okay.
Whew. Okay. So overall, the demanding that she shaves, and then now she feels inadequate. What do you say about that?
I know it's not going to mean a whole lot, but they really have no reason to feel inadequate.
I know it's easy to tell somebody that they don't
Yeah.
have to, and harder for them to internalize. Yeah.
I think it's good that for the time they want to step back.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
that might be a good idea.
Take a step back and kind of start from scratch. And I mean, not all the way to the beginning, but
I don't know. I don't know. If I tell you no to something, and I mean, see, that's why I'm of two minds. Because if they were in some sort of scene, I guess it just depends on how they play. But this was such an ask that it's really affected this person mentally, like, and emotionally. Like, they are impacted by this. So I feel like, does this mean that this was something that had previously been discussed, told no, brought back up? Or was this something that's been hinted at, and not actually directly asked for, but the person's like kind of like shrugged it off, and now direct ask was not immediately told, okay, my bad, shouldn't have even asked. Like, doesn't sound like anything's been done to even in a small way, like after the scene part of the conversation, go, I came on too strong. That's my bad. Like, nothing's been done to repair even that small breach of trust, something that might be inconsequential if the person immediately acknowledged, ooh, hey, yeah, I overstepped there. I probably shouldn't have done that. Or I shouldn't have done it that way, or I shouldn't have done it that, at this time. I should have done this in a different way. Because this person's now walked away going, oh my God, do they not like my pubic area? I don't even want them down there, but you know what I mean? Like, do they, the inadequacy has to come from somewhere. Some of that likely comes from some, their own internal stuff that they've been through over the years. But for it to be this misstep, and this for them to be how they reacted, I'm questioning what else is going on. Because I really think that, if it had been just a verbal, like, oopsie, I don't think you walk away from that going, maybe we shouldn't even be in a relationship. Like, I feel like there's more.
And there may be.
Or it was one of those things that, it's small on its own, but it's built up on top of a lot of other small things.
It's one of those things that it could have been the straw that broke the camel back.
Exactly. Exactly. Maybe there's other small things that have occurred enough times over the past year that on their own you don't really complain about. You kind of go, oh, whatever. And this one was just a step too far and one too many.
Yeah, that's possible.
The thing is, I mean, I get it. I can hear a dom out there saying, but I get lost in the headspace too. Yeah, you're human. You do. But you as the dom have the fucking responsibility. Like, the submissive has the responsibility to advocate for themselves. And they did. They said, I don't want this. I'm not doing it. Right? Mm-hmm. If you realize that you asked for something that clearly your submissive vehemently pushes back on, that's on you to like rectify that situation. And doms who have the responsibility, if you know the normal way to do this is to talk about it before,
right,
outside of a scene, it really is on you if you air quote slip up and bring it up in scene. Like, yeah, people are human. I could see JB in the heat of the moment not thinking too completely clearly and throwing out a suggestion. At this point, after 10 years, I can absolutely see it. But he's not going to let me walk away. If I say no, if I safe word, if I do whatever to make it clear, this ain't happening, he's not going to let me walk away from that interaction without knowing that, hey, wait, we're good.
Yeah.
So, like, yes, doms, I know some of you fucking hate it, but the onus is on you. You brought up a thing at the wrong fucking time. Now your partner has walked away feeling inadequate. What the fuck are you doing to make sure that doesn't happen? It is on the submissive to speak up. Mm-hmm. Never going to not say that. And even now, they need to speak up. They need to say something. Mm-hmm. But it's a person can decide that's a big enough thing. But the way they're describing it, I feel like it's a medium-sized thing that was just one thing too many.
Building to, yeah. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And that may well be. That may well be. I mean, I know there are people out there who, you know, it's their personal choice.
Sure, always.
Okay? Yeah. So, yeah, I don't.
And of course, I mean, this kind of touches on the whole stereotype that, you know, submissives are supposed to be like clean-shaven or hairless or whatever in whatever region of the body the dom wants to like spend time in.
Yeah.
And just because something is common, or seems common, I should say, doesn't mean anything. You should not expect that that's your partner wants to do that. It's a legitimate ask. It's not a demand. You cannot demand like.
Yeah, it goes. Yeah. It's a stereotype, just like the whole thing. You know, you hear people talk about, is everybody in BDSM poly?
I know, yeah. Just because somebody has had enough experience with it, feeling like more people than not are.
Right.
Yeah.
It seems like it may be prevalent, but, you know, yeah.
And in some communities it will be. And in some places, yes, it might be really common that a lot of submissives are hair-free. But it's literally like everything else we do. You have to, like, negotiate it. And somebody consents or they don't. And I really wish I knew more, because I just feel like, you know, I don't know how to say it. It's not more than it is. It's just, it was a straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah.
And so I'm like.
And you may be right on that. That may be exactly what it.
And the thing I would tell a submissive, if you walk away from encounters with your dominant partner feeling inadequate, assuming it's not a safety issue, my first instinct is always to tell you to at least let your dominant partner know. Unless this is a song and dance you've played about 12 times already, and this is just a pattern you're in. But if this is like the first or second time you've had this this kind of encounter where things didn't quite go the way they usually do, and you walk away feeling less than your, you know, submissive self, or wondering if there's something wrong with you, especially if you ever walk away wondering if there's something wrong with you. Have the conversation with your dominant partner. Most of the time, you're going to get a sense pretty quickly if that was an oopsie, or if that was I tried to get away with something and I couldn't. And you might not know immediately, because you have to watch patterns of behavior. Like, what do they actually do? Do they talk good game and then don't change anything? Or do they actually change their behavior? But if it's a relationship you think you want to keep, it's worth it to you. Have the conversation. Let them know. Then see what the hell they do and how they respond. But if we're on, you know, more than 2 or 3 times of going, hey, this interaction left me feeling like shit. that's probably not the person for you.
No.
No. Yeah. But yeah, you can't just tell somebody to not feel inadequate. I wish it was that easy. I'd walk around sprinkling that like fairy dust over people. Yeah. But, it's more either, and it's an and or, I think. You can do both or you can do one of the two. It's having a partner that genuinely makes you feel good about yourself. Mm. And or figuring out ways to find that within yourself. It's therapy. It's time away from a shitty partner. It's, doing things that lift you up and build you up personally. But you can find that with the right partner. And if you are in a relationship where you feel inadequate more often than not, either side of the slash, what are we doing there?
You need to reassess, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, right out, I have to say kudos to them for, standing their bounds and,
right.
saying, right away, no, I'm not going to do it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Still give side eye to a dom that can't. Can I see circumstances where it might be harder to pull back, like really intense scenes, physical scenes, you're in the room with one another? Like, I can see it. And I'm not going to say it can't possibly happen over the phone, but I'm still going to give some side eye.
I know.
Still giving side eye there.
I know.
Okay. So I don't know if that was a rant, but here we are. Okay.
And here we go again.
Next one.
Okay.
I feel like we're going to ask how many raindrops are in a thunderstorm with this one, but I just felt like we should do it.
I saw the title and like, oh.
Title, what are the ways to vet to prevent ghosting? I just got ghosted twice in 3 months, both times after the first scene. And let me tell you, it's happened other times too, just not recently. I don't have any body image issues, and both times we had coffee, the guy seemed really into me. They even said that I'm hot during the scene. So what's the deal with doms ghosting after the first scene? What am I doing wrong that they can't tell me in my face or even over a freaking text? Is there a better way to vet them to avoid this? The last one, I even jokingly asked during coffee if he'd ghost me because I'd been ghosted recently. He said, of course not. So frustrating. It's getting tiring. Oh, I can only imagine.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I'm that type of person. If something bad happens once,
you're done.
I'm already probably done. But twice, I would just go into a kinky nunnery and be by my damn self. I just would be like, oh, clearly this isn't for me. Mm-hmm. I don't want people to feel that way, but I do know how I would react.
Yeah. I wish there was a way to vet to prevent ghosting.
There's no guarantees.
There is no guarantee. I whoever figures out a ghost-proof way to do it, they'll make millions.
They absolutely will. They absolutely will.
Yeah.
Now, I will say, and this, I don't know how helpful this advice is because some people are just looking for play partners.
Right.
And so they're moving a little bit faster than a person who's looking for a long-term power exchange relationship. Mm-hmm. If you are looking for a long-term power exchange relationship and you keep like picking up the ones that tend to fucking ghost, it's time to drag the part out before the first scene a lot longer. Now, that's no fucking guarantee, if anything. Some of these fuckers will play the long game. And they'll be like, oh, I've got some on the side. I'm doing whatever. I don't have to commit to anything. I just got to say all the right words. Eventually, I'll get what I'm looking for. I mean, I wish I could be a fly on the wall of some of these, like, the conversations that they would have had with these doms, because it's like, were they giving off fake dom vibes that just because I see it all the time, I might recognize? Or did they actually come across as genuine, and then did that thing that happens in all forms of dating and all flavors of relationship, and just, instead of just taking responsibility and going, this isn't going to work for me. See, here's the thing. I don't like ghosting on any level, short of it being a safety issue. I think that as hard as it is, it's much easier to send a single, as long as you don't think you're dealing with a crazy person, send a single text that goes, I'm so glad to have met you. This isn't working for me. Gotta go. Yeah. And then if they can't take a hint, block, delete, do what you gotta do. But if you want to call yourself a fucking dom and you can't just tell somebody, hey, I don't want to play with you anymore. Yeah. Hey, this isn't working for me. Hang up your fucking little pretend dom hat and just call it a fucking day and go tell people you like kinky sex and move the fuck on. Because good God almighty, if you are going to dom, you better fucking learn how to have difficult conversations and to tell people shit they might not want to hear.
And see, Rara brought up something interesting. Was sex part of the scene?
Yeah.
You know, if it was, then they're, you know,
they got what they wanted.
Said,
and
they got what they wanted, and they're gone.
I know, and there's just no way to guarantee that you won't be ghosted.
Now, while this is no guarantee, all right, and this I think would take a little introspection on this person's part.
Yeah.
Look down. Okay, all these people.
What do they have in common?
Besides the fact that they ghosted me, what do they have in common? Is there any other common denominators? So at that point, then, what do I need to change? Where I'm meeting these people, how I'm finding them,
the traits I'm seeing, especially if they've got common traits. Talk a certain way, act a certain way, you know. But you found them a certain place. If it's coming from like the same place over and over again, yeah. Time to stop that. It's been a few years since we had this conversation, but I thought about it with this.
Yeah.
I am not going to blame a person who finds themselves in a shitty situation with a partner in the sense that they, like, nobody deserves that, right? Yeah. Nobody deserves a string of failed relationships when you were trying. Nobody deserves to, like, have the same kind of treatment from partner to partner to partner. Nobody deserves that. However, if you keep picking the same kind of fucking people over and over again, it is time to fundamentally change something. And sometimes that change needs to be, maybe I should be by myself for a hot minute.
Because
your picker is off.
It's the old axiom. If you do the same thing over and over and expect different results.
Right. I mean, there are therapeutic things I've heard about where, and I'm not a mental health professional. I'm not qualified. Somebody who actually knows should speak up if especially if I'm wrong. But the things that I've sort of heard recently from like therapists online is that when we seem to gravitate towards a specific type of person who is not good for us, that usually comes from often childhood trauma, but it's trauma in some way. It's something about this, as stressful as this person is, or this type of person is, feels familiar enough that we keep going back to it. And those kinds of cycles, it's probably time for therapy to try to break some of those cycles. But I mean, that's just the thing. You don't deserve shitty treatment.
No.
But if they're all doing the same thing, at a certain point, there's only one common denominator.
Yeah.
But in this case, it's two. Okay, are you finding them in the same place? Are you going to the same spot?
Right.
Do you think you have a type? You know? Maybe ignore that type for a minute. Quite frankly, I found actual partnership and love and whatever when I went, the type has not helped me thus far. And when we both went against what we thought we would be okay with in a relationship. You were not looking for another single mother.
No.
And then I showed up. I thought I needed my partners to be taller than me. And somehow I liked them really skinny. I don't know why. And then I went for a short king, and it worked out for me. So, yeah, I wish there was like a magic thing to do to tell everybody, hey, if you do this, you'll never be ghosted. Ghosting is about the person who ghosted you. That's truly, maybe y'all weren't compatible, but the fact that they weren't willing to just tell you and just leave you hanging, that says more about them than it does about you. Yeah. Short of you being an unsafe person, there's always a caveat, y'all know me. Because that, for me, if you feel unsafe, if you're not sure that you're going to get a adult reaction from somebody and this is the only way you'll be able to sleep at night, okay, fine. Yeah. But if it's, I just don't want to say the hard thing, no. I'm not a fan of ghosting at all. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, I am perpetually out of breath this episode. Okay, I gotta get close. I gotta lean in. Right. Got the old eyes. Here we go. Title: Getting your sub to open up during check-ins during a scene. I'm just learning and exploring my style of dominance with my husband. When doing a scene, I find my husband does not want to communicate with me when things are not going right. Like he sees it as his job to, quote, power through and suffer for me. Even when I check in with him, he replies, I'm fine, mistress. Today I gave him an example of if I have him tied up and I'm spanking him, I want him to power through the spanking unless he needs to use a safe word. But if he had a cramp, he needs to communicate that to me. The cramp is not the kind of suffering I want for him. Mm-hmm. I don't want to find out after the scene that he suffered the whole time in a way I didn't even know about. Skilled doms can many times read their submissive's body and expression and can tell something is wrong even when they don't say it. I don't feel like I'm as skilled at that yet as I want to be. Do you have any tips for getting your submissive to open up about how they are doing during a scene? My husband seems to think that he's a better submissive if he's quiet about it, but then he tells me later. I hate that. Edit. Reading initial responses, I need to clarify my thoughts. I think he will communicate to me when things are unsafe or his boundaries are being pushed, but what he doesn't communicate to me is when he's uncomfortable in a non-kink way and it's detracting from being in a submissive state, when small adjustments can be made.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. So I can't remember in our dynamic if I was quick to communicate in scene in the beginning or not. Do you remember? I mean, clearly our very first scene I safe worded.
You did.
Because you went in too fucking hard.
Yeah, I did. I came in, I did. Yeah, I
exuberant.
Did. Yeah.
But I mean, do you remember ever having a sense that I wasn't telling small things like this person says here, their sub will say, hey, a boundary's being pushed. I'm feeling unsafe. Here's my safe word. But like the small things.
No, I don't think you ever did.
Okay.
But then that comes with the fact that, have talked about how, need to know what's going on because you want to supply good pain as opposed to bad pain. Right? And I need to know those things.
Right. And and the way I've always kind of thought of it when I started actually thinking about it is it's a safety precaution for both of us. Because if you accidentally cause me harm, physical, mental, emotional, because I didn't fucking tell you something,
right,
I've damaged you just as much as you've damaged me.
Sure.
How do you feel comfortable going in and playing with a partner after that if you can't quite trust they're going to tell you shit you need to know?
Yeah. I mean, the fact that they're like, well, if boundary is pushed or, safe word, they're going to do that.
It doesn't seem they have proof that they will. They just believe that
they would. And, I've always said someone who, says, oh, I don't need a safe word, I don't need,
Not a fan.
Not a fan. That's
because anything can happen at any point.
Right. Anything could happen.
So a couple things come to mind. One, I wonder how this dominant is checking in. Are they checking in and going, how are you doing? Are you okay? Or are they, and our way is not the only way, but I just know our way. You do a traffic light thing. Give me a color.
Right.
Now, we talked about before the scene what the colors mean, right? And the reality is if I don't say anything because I'm struggling or I'm in subspace, the whole fucking scene ends immediately.
Right.
But the color allows JB to know how to moderate.
How to navigate and moderate.
Right. Yeah. As I got more comfortable over the years, I got sassier with my colors. We are the rainbow here, okay? Because it's not just green, yellow, red. It's green if I'm I'm good, let's keep going. And it'll be red if it's the worst thing ever. But if I need something to slow down or something doesn't quite, is a little off, I'll give you a greeny yellow or an orangey red or a pale orange. I'll do that. But that took years to get to.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a conversation for them out of scene when everybody's got the clothes on and it's calm and is not in a kink mindset. Out
of scene and out of protocol.
Right. And look, here, is the way I'm checking it not working. We have to have a way. I think the other thing that needs to be imparted to the submissive is it is a trust thing.
Right.
There is no way that dominant can trust their partner. If they're not telling them
if
things.
they're not giving them added.
Right.
Yeah.
I wonder, they say that, they're new to dominating. So is the submissive new to submission? And do they need a little bit, like, whether it's munches or workshops or books or however they fucking learn about shit, do they need some more of that to understand? I also, and I don't like to reduce things down to gender. I really don't. Did they? Yeah. It's a guy. Were they raised and socialized as a guy or not? I don't know. Can't know. Yeah. But I do wonder if there's a little bit of the gendered, I'm supposed to be tough.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to tell you
to do this,
that I'm struggling or something is not going well. That, I'm not an expert in how you deprogram yourself or anybody else out of that. That's a time thing. And they have to be willing to see things differently than they've done before.
If that's the case, I mean, can people learn?
Of course.
Absolutely. Some people just don't want to.
They don't think they should. They don't believe they can. Whatever their own past has done to them. I mean, all kinds of shit. But I do wonder, is this part of it? I wouldn't say it's all of it. I think that's too dismissive. But if that person has any background in believing that they're supposed to tough shit out and endure, or is all their kink information coming from fucking porn? Because there is a lot of submissives of all genders suffering and enduring for their dom, which can be hot, and if you want to go negotiate it, have a good time. But that doesn't mean that submissive won't tell you that their hand just went numb or they've got a cramp in their leg. The porn doesn't show when they cut the scene to rub out the cramp. You know what I mean? And in the some of the more, I don't like to say extreme forms of porn because that's subjective, but there are, especially in kink porn, there are some things you'll see and you'll come across where it looks like those persons, the limits don't exist and they will endure anything. And it's like, yes, but that's fantasy and that's pretend. We're not actually supposed to do it in our bedroom at home. You know what I mean? We all get to have limits, and it's okay if your leg cramps. Good Lord, how many times have we been fucking around and both of us got a goddamn cramp?
Either one or the other, yeah.
Oh my God.
I know.
So yeah, and I commend this dom for going, okay, I know I don't have the skills for this. I know I'm still new, but also I want to take the dom by the hand and go, hey, even if you are dom for years and years and you get to like really know your partner and you can read their expressions, you will still not see something. You're human. You will still make a mistake. They need a safe word. They need a way to communicate. They need to be able to communicate with you.
No matter how well you know somebody, I feel I know you fairly well after all these years, but
anything can happen at any point.
Sure.
So it's not, I don't ever say that to take away from somebody's desire for or willingness to or ability to really read their partner. That's a skill that you can develop over time with a person. And that's a great skill to have. But do not get so confident that you don't need backup risk mitigation. That there shouldn't be something in place that will snap you out of your moment to go, oh shit, something's gone wrong. I don't know anything scientific about this, and anything I might know is really me just looking at things and going, I think this is what this means. I don't even know if I've ever heard anybody really talk about it except for submissives. But I wonder how many people, doms or subs, tops or bottoms, who internalize in some way that a safe word is a failing. Because there's just too many fucking doms who are like, I don't play with safe words. Fuck you.
I know.
If I, the submissive, play with a safe word, guess what, baby? You play with a safe word today. Because that's what I do.
Yeah.
But it's like, we don't want to admit that the most random fucking thing can happen and you don't actually have total control over all fucking things. So if there is, and obviously not everybody feels that way. Like, I get that. But if there is some, thought of that floating out in the ether somewhere, it's going to affect all sides of the slash. Sure. It's going to, some people are going to internalize that and maybe not even realize it. But this submissive thinks he is supposed to endure.
Yeah.
But baby, baby, we don't endure injury.
Right, no, it's,
like, what are we doing?
It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be something that fulfills for both sides of the slash. Okay? And, you know,
I think our video froze again. Yes, it is supposed to be fun. And yeah. And it can be super intense. It can be like, make you wonder if, you know, you need therapy later intense, as long as everybody's within bounds. You've played as safely as you possibly can. Nothing's 100% safe. You've got aftercare. Like, if you can have all that, then go fucking crazy. But everybody involved has to be able to trust each other. And, you know, we spend a lot of time telling submissives about, you know, a dom needs to earn your trust, but Jesus Christ, a sub needs to earn their dom's trust. Mm-hmm. And if that dom cannot depend on you to speak the fuck up, you are no longer a safe person to play with.
Yeah.
And then you can't get intense in the way that you might want to. Because if the more trust there is and the more willingness everybody is to, you know, mitigate as much risk as is even possible, the further, if you choose to, you can go. But without that, first, and also this caveat, if you don't want to go that far, you don't fucking have to. I like to play in the middle of my boundaries with a lot of room between me and the fence line. I mean, that's how I like to play. But yeah, this endurance bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, and believing that their partner would use their safe word, but not actually knowing. You know, I feel like they must be playing in a way that the dominant is trying to stay well within the boundary lines, especially as they're learning. And I really respect that. I think that's a good way to start, you know, until you're confident, they're confident, you've built up some whatever, but I don't know how that dom trusts their sub.
Yeah.
And that might be the conversation. It's like, until you get your mind wrapped around this, we can't play.
Don't have the trust,
No. And it's more risky than it already is if you're not willing to do that. And I don't like for everything to fall back on a power exchange, but maybe it needs to be, I'm speaking as your mistress here. This is a rule.
Yeah.
If you break this rule, you are in kinky play timeout. That's what I'm saying. Okay, next one.
Right. Yeah, hang on.
Okay. Oh, no, that was the one I just read. Next one. Go ahead, do what you gotta do. Yeah. This one hit close to home because I saw myself in it and I didn't quite like it, but it did mean I had a very specific mental response. Are you, podcast listeners, you can't see, Jamie just walked away. He's doing something across the room. Are you able to pay attention, or do you want me to wait till you come back?
Give me 1 second.
Okay. I'm trying not to belch into the microphone because I am a professional podcast host. Thank you very much. Look, drinking Diet Coke and I'm talking too fast and I'm swallowing air. The belch is coming. I'm just trying to hold it off until we're done streaming and recording. Okay, are you ready for me?
I am ready.
Title: Acts of Service or Just Unmotivated? Okay, here we go. So my dom and I have reached a talking point that I'm not sure he understands what I mean. Maybe I don't know how to explain it correctly. In terms of what kind of sub I am, I'm not entirely sure, but I know that I love acts of service. I want to do anything that will make his life easier and his day better. And while he does fully appreciate it, I've tried to explain my reasoning behind it, and I'm not sure if the message is really getting through to him. I find myself very unmotivated to do things if I'm just doing them for myself. I'll wash the dishes, take out the trash, clean the bathtub, etc. But doing it for myself gives me no desire to do it, and since I don't see the reward in doing a common chore, I tend to procrastinate on them. On the flip side, if I know that he'll be coming over and the dishes aren't clean or the floor isn't vacuumed, I am much more motivated in doing these chores. If I do them for myself, I don't have that sense of satisfaction at the end of doing them, but when I, quote, do them for him, I may not enjoy the chore, but I have a sense of pride for getting it done. I've tried explaining this to him, and I think he understands until I realize that maybe he doesn't. This does extend to other non-chore related areas of my life, but I don't know how to explain to him that these things These are things that I want to do for myself and not necessarily for him. But before he came into the picture, I would rather have had all my teeth pulled before doing any chores. I think he may think of it as me not having any self-motivation or discipline and needing to rely on him to basically tell me what to do because I can't do it myself. I can understand if that's the thought process, but he knows I'm very independent and occasionally stubborn person who will still get things done that need to be done, but may do a half-assed job because at the end of the day, if I'm doing anything for myself, I don't feel the need to put in the extra effort to go above and beyond when it's just another chore that'll have to be done again and again and again anyways. He feels I'm doing everything for him and not for myself, which is again understandable but not quite the case. How would I go about explaining to him that I would and could do these things anyways, but having them be part of our dynamic would make me more motivated and excited for the most mundane and boring tasks? I am in this post and I do not like it. I mean, I could have fucking written that almost word for word. So, I definitely have my viewpoint, but what are your thoughts? Being the dominant who would be on the flip side of this type of thing. Yeah. Because you definitely are.
You know, there's a few things at play here, and yes, I do see a little bit of someone I know in there.
So let me put it to you this way, because I literally came to you for a thing and basically used this language of, I know I'm supposed to do it, but I can't be motivated to do it on my own, so I need your help. Now, the way you ended up flipping it, what we're doing is you put yourself in it because you're like, I need to do this too.
Right.
But this was not the first time I've come to you for that. So when I come to you and go, look, I'm not motivated to do this on my own. I need your help. How do you feel about that? How do you handle it? How do you wrap your mind around that?
You know, when you do that, I feel kind of good that you're willing to come to me and ask me, you know, those things. You know, I'm gonna, because I fall on the big D side of the slash. I'm kind of gonna. Are you okay?
Yeah, I just can't catch my breath. We're good.
Okay. Now I lost my train of thought. Okay. While I am not a little S, I think what it comes down to is it's not a matter of the motivation, like they are saying. I think there's probably a number of things that go on there. There's the accountability.
That's what this person wants, and they just don't know how to say that what they want is accountability.
They want the accountability. And, you know, I would have to say, you know, because I know with you and with others, you know, when you are tasked to do something, you know, you look also for the validation of having done something.
Yes, that is very true.
You know, good job, good girl, you know.
Or just like this person said, feeling good that I did that thing. Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So there is that. And that the part of me that, you know, is not very generous is kind of thinking, well, you know, maybe this dominant doesn't know what to do with a service sub or how to handle them.
They might not, and this person doesn't even call themselves a service submissive yet. They just know they like acts of service, and I'm like over here mentally screaming, go learn about service submission.
Right. Yeah.
Sounds a little bit like you, but also the word you said is the first word that came to mind, and that's accountability.
Yeah.
Because I've had this conversation with you. When there are things that I know I need to get done, but good God almighty, I don't want to fucking do it. I know I should clean this more often, do that, and this would be really good for me. Like, I'm not stupid. I fucking know all of it, and something within me just rebels, right? Yep. Whether it's executive dysfunction, whether it's just procrastination, whether it's like I've learned too many things, so I know it could be too many reasons.
You're dangerous.
Whatever the thing is that prevents me from knowing what to do and then just fucking doing it, whatever that is, in power exchange, especially because I love to do things for the people I care about.
True.
But also, yes, the validation. I come to you and go, look, I need you to hold me accountable.
Yeah.
You don't give a fuck if I do this thing. I mean, you might care for me because whatever, but I know that and this is what I would tell this person. The conversation is, I don't need you to tell me what to do for everything, and I don't need everything I do to be for you, right? Because I wonder if that dom is a little overwhelmed by that. Like, why is doing your basic home chores for me? Like, how does that work, right? The conversation you and I have had, I want this person to have is, I need to be held accountable. So the real conversation is, here are the things I struggle with doing. I need a counterbalance to know that you're looking to see if I've done them, not because it was actually for you, but if I get them done, dom has some like good job, or they're happy, or they're proud, or they're whatever. But the outside, what's the word? There's a word I want. It's not pressure, but a little bit of the outside pressure to get the thing done is how shit gets done. And so if I believe, even if it's just mindfuckery, if I believe that I am accountable to you to get my shit done, and that there might even be a consequence if I don't, this person might very well be a person who's like, I don't want fucking consequences. Well, then do your fucking shit and you don't have to worry about consequences. But the idea that there could be a consequence might be enough of a motivator and enough of a, okay, I they're going to come to me if I don't get this shit done. Or I have to admit to them that I did not get this thing done. Whatever it is that gets that person like in their headspace and doing their shit, and knowing that at the end of the day, it's their dom who's going to be looking to see, did they do their shit? I don't necessarily think that a dom has to be invested in the tasks itself. I think it can be, if you're not invested in the actual tasks, it can be in the, did my submissive partner do the things they assured me they would do? And if they did not, do I express some level of disappointment that hits them in the subby feels, wherever that might be, that keeps them motivated? And also, why do we have to be motivated to do bullshit stuff like chores? Like, everybody gets fucking unmotivated to do boring shit. Some of us are just like, it's bigger for us, but everybody's fucking like that. So if outside pressure, outside accountability is more fucking effective, and the shit's still getting done, if the dom is willing, and of course the dom gets to decide if they're willing to play this game.
Sure.
It is kind of a game, because the dom ultimately doesn't give a fuck if the chore is done. But what they might care about is, did you do a thing I expected you to? Because that's a power thing. That's a control thing. And I'm curious, because there have been things you've done this for me on. Did it really fucking matter about the thing being done, or was it more that I did what I was supposed to do because you have control over me?
It's a combination of both. Because
that didn't help my example, but y'all know where I was going with it.
Yeah, I know. I know what you're trying to do, but the fact of the matter for me is, I am the type of person, maybe a little too pragmatic. I'm not going to give you tasks just for the sake of giving you a task. If I give you a task, it's because it needs to be done.
And that dom might be that same way, but there's still stuff I need to do that you don't. I mean, it doesn't affect you if I don't do a thing.
True.
So it's not a task you would assign to me that you would care if I did it or not. Like, it wouldn't. My point is, the reason you would care is not because the lack of the thing being done impacts you. More, you control me to the extent that we've negotiated, and I didn't get a thing done that you expected me to get done. Maybe because I told you I would, or because you went, hey, these are your normal everyday chores. You need to make sure you get your shit done. Not because, and this is where I think the confusion is in this conversation. The dom is like, none of this impacts me directly. Why would I tell you to do it? That's not the fucking conversation.
That's not the point, though.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's where I think that's getting lost in translation. The person, the submissive needs to go, I need accountability. I need somebody who doesn't have to be impacted by me doing this, but will make sure, will check in. Like, it's a little bit of emotional labor on the part of the dom. Maybe physical labor if there's a consequence. Yeah. But, like, it's not the dom doesn't even have to think of what the tasks are. The first task could be the submissive brings the list of tasks that they find challenging and go, these are the things I'm supposed to get done on whatever schedule. I don't fucking know. And I need to know that if I'm not getting this done. And it's a little bit of role play, air quote, for you. Not because it benefits the Dom, but because the Dom sets the expectation that, hey, these are your responsibilities and you'll take care of them. That, you know, if the Dom can wrap their head around that, I think they're fine. But I think the word that the submissive wants is accountability.
Yeah.
Because, and I just say that as that's what works for me. Okay. Okay, this is our last one.
All right.
I don't know if I picked an easy one or not, but here we go. Difference between wanting a Dom or just a nice guy. I, 28 female, am not very experienced in BDSM at all, but have always been very interested in having a Dom or someone to take care of me. I've been in a few very brief relationships with Doms in the past who probably were way too intense given my lack of experience. Nothing bad happened, I just realized these were too intense and not what I was looking for. I guess I'm just wondering, how do subs out there know that they actually want to have a dominant versus a partner that just, like, makes sure you drink water and eat 3 meals a day? First of all, for some of us, it's the difference between a very intense Dom and a caregiver and a nurturer. It's not exclusive, but and also sometimes, no, you just want somebody who cares enough about you to go,
Well, yeah.
did you drink water today?
But, you know, in your reading this, the first thing that kind of jumped out at me is, I just want someone to take care of me.
I said that so fucking often before I even knew BDSM was a fucking thing.
You
And
know.
felt bad and felt guilty for wanting it. But yeah.
You know, what do you mean by being taken care of?
Right.
Okay.
And if you are submissive, what is it that you're giving in return for that care?
Right.
Like, are you willing to do things for a partner that you are within your boundaries, but you wouldn't otherwise do if they didn't ask you to or tell you to, right?
Yeah.
You know, what are your own lines for what you want to give in a relationship?
Exactly. And I think that, you know, they say, not very experienced at BDSM. So, you know, what are they wanting? And I think that's part of the thing. They're not very experienced. I think they need to figure out who they are in the BDSM community.
And if they even have a place in the BDSM.
And if they even have a place in it.
Right.
You know, some people think, oh, this sounds great. And, you know, they dip their toes in and they're like, oh, no, this is not what I want.
I know.
You know, but, you know, they really need to figure out who they are in the community and what they really want out of a BDSM relationship.
Right. Exactly.
You know.
Exactly.
You know, said they're, you know, they went into some that were and they were too intense. Like, okay, well
that's very vague. What does that mean?
It's very vague. And what were the negotiations like?
Were there negotiations?
Were there any? Yeah.
And that's they were a little too vague here because I have, like, the thoughts come in. Y'all know how my brain works.
Yeah.
So on one hand, my thought is it too intense because it's just not really for them? It doesn't matter what flavor they tried. It just wasn't for them.
Yeah.
Valid. That's so fucking valid. Or was it too intense because they found a partner that fit some kind of stereotype, or they just happened to come across a potential partner that was and intense is subjective here, but was like more high protocol, strict, more rules, like more structured power exchange. And they're now their only experience and true experience and knowledge of power exchange is literally one single way of doing it, when there are a million ways to do it.
I mean, you know, they're talking about this, and you know, the whole intent. And why I say they need to be a little bit more in tune with what they want. You know, is it like a caregiver that they are really looking for? And in prior to this, maybe they were in like a high protocol.
Right, exactly.
You know, and sure, that would be hell of a tense to somebody.
I couldn't do it.
No, you couldn't.
I would drive that poor Dom crazy. They would question whether they really were into BDSM or not by the time I was done.
They'd question all their life's choices,
their own sanity. By the time I was done with
too.
them. I mean, same. I'd be over there doing my own version of it. So, you know, in the live chat, somebody brought up something that is a very good point.
Yeah.
Why is it a difference between Dom and a nice guy? Like,
Right, yeah.
Doms can be a nice guy.
Yeah. I don't know, what Dom not supposed to be a nice guy? I mean, he's supposed to be...
Which then makes me wonder, what was their experience?
Yeah.
Did they get them a growly, like, tough
Grumpy
person?
polar bear.
Right. That was
yeah.
like, these are my rules and you will follow them. And, like... And there was no playfulness or silliness.
Yeah.
Did they, like, what? I wish I knew that, because then I could go, oh, well, you might still not be into BDSM, but you just got, like, one little sliver of one flavor. Like, it's taste the fucking rainbow out there. Like, there's so many other ways to experience power exchange.
Yeah.
But also, quite frankly, even if we were not in a power exchange, I still want a partner who's going to ask me, did you even have any fucking water today? Like, who cares enough about me as a fucking human being to care, to, be paying attention to whether I'm functioning and if I've got if my needs are being met. You don't have to go search for a Dom for that. But also, if you find a Dom, that part better be included, or you can negotiate that, or you wait until you find the person who will give you that. They're not mutually exclusive.
No, they're not.
Now, it can seem that way if you come across some asshole doms, some air quote doms, some one true way doms. I mean, you could be like, oh God, are all of these people just motherfuckers? I mean, some of them are, yes.
Yeah.
But
I got a chuckle when you read the title to that.
Yeah.
Being a dom does not mean preclude you from being a nice guy.
Right.
Just like you can be a non-kink person and be a
raging asshole?
Total unnice person.
Right. Yeah, I think your initial thought is the exact right one. What this person needs to do is to go away and learn more about BDSM, specifically submission, and the vast number of ways that it can be expressed, and maybe even like be around some kinky people, talk to some kinky people, read, watch, whatever. And then think for themselves, okay, is any of this resonating with me? Right. Yeah. Because is it that they're not kinky, or is it that they just came across the partners that were not right for them? And if you don't even know what you want, like, and then you can't possibly find somebody who's going to fit that. Sure. However, the caveat, like the parenthetical here is, you can think you know what you want when you go into it, try it, and go, hell no, this is not what I want.
This is not for me.
And either find another flavor, or go, I'm not actually kinky. I'm going to go over here to, the non-kink side of things. But so just, even trying to figure out what you want before you get some practical experience is imperfect.
Yeah.
But if they haven't had meaningful, good experiences with former partners, and they're questioning this, go learn more about it, and then ask yourself the question, do I think I could live without this? Because quite frankly, you can either just not be kinky, or this might not be the right season in your life to explore this right now.
That's true, too. That's true.
God knows plenty of us come to it much later in life because that's the right time to actually think about it and explore it.
Yeah.
So, why can't I catch my breath today? I think if I'm undiagnosed, and I'm not confident enough to self-diagnose, but if I have the ADHD, I think the ADHD is ADHDing today. And I think that's my problem. Okay, so that was the last one. So yay for that. And now we can go into a bonus section.
All right.
And I will try really hard to catch my fucking breath. Oh,
yes, please do that,
I know, it's making you very nervous.
Yes.
You keep giving... I go through this every once in a while. I do. And it's usually when the mind is just flapping in the breeze.
And I'm not used to seeing this.
I don't usually have to talk through it.
Yeah.
See, my midday, the noon fucking stream, I'm much calmer, usually. Every once in a while. I mean, we get chaotic. Y'all know that. But, like, my best time for focus in the day is morning to midday. I used all of that up today.
Gotcha.
And then went into what I can only describe as possibly a hyperfocus and got a week, I said it earlier, a week's worth of work done in 5 hours. And now I think my brain is just trying to catch up.
Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. So with all that being said,
that was plenty to be said.
Are we good?
I don't know. I just hope I haven't scared anybody away. Keep it kinky, y'all. And we'll see you next week. Daddy.
Yes, baby girl.
Can we talk to the crickets, please?
Yeah.
Next week is episode 400.
Yep. That's true.
I had to quickly text my mother this morning. She is coming for a visit. She thought mid-June. I looked at a calendar and went, well, that starts next week. I need to text my mother.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, do you know when you're coming? Because we're going to take a week off when she is here, so we don't have to try to navigate recording and streaming and blah, blah, blah while she's here. And I'm like, have you figured that out yet? Because I need to like plan my work life here. And she goes, I have no clue, but it will definitely not be next week. The evil stepdad has been having medical stuff go on, and they're waiting for results, and they're waiting to make appointments, and like there's all kinds of stuff going on. She's like, I gotta be here. And I'm like, no, I get it. If JB had to go through some stuff, I sure as shit be there. I go into the doctor's office with him, though, and I talk to the doctor. HIPAA what? We don't know her. No. I will point out the symptoms he is not telling them about. So, yes, I would be in my mom's shoes. I'd be like, okay, I guess I'm not leaving town when there's all this medical stuff going on. So
yeah, it kind of seems that way, Silent.
So in live chat, Silent asked, does that mean we're celebrating 400 episodes and 10,000 subscribers at the same time? Kind of. So we have the live stream on Saturday for 10K subscribers, and then Wednesday we'll stream the 400th episode. That is actually going to be a Q&A episode. We're going to ask for questions from Instagram. Just because it's so much easier to organize them that way. So yeah, we will be doing that next week. So I could have sworn there was a thing I told myself, hey, we'll talk about that in the bonus section. Gone. Psh, poof out of the brain. You and I have been, it's only the second time we've done it, so it's a little new. But we've been attempting to take stupid fucking walks for our stupid mental health. Yes. And it works. I fucking hate that shit. I hate that shit. Well, I want an easy for me because I'm physically capable of walking. I want an easy thing that actually helps, but I don't want it to be the thing everybody tells you you're supposed to do. Like something about that just rubs me the wrong way. Like I don't want people to be right about that, but it, and I'm sure it doesn't work for everybody. I would never say that, but the first day we did it, Monday, we came in, a sweaty mess. Not because it was even all that hot outside. We were walking at 5:30 in the morning, y'all. Yes, that's the time I said. But the perimenopause just fucking takes over. And I got really hot. But we came in Monday morning, and I just, like, started doing shit.
You did.
And kept doing shit till I finally stopped at the end of the day.
And kind of so did I.
Like, what the fuck was that?
I know.
And then today's walk is only the second one, y'all. Today's walk started out stressful. Two things. Woke up this morning. The first thing I do when my eyes open and I turn off my fucking alarm is I pick up, it's not a good habit. I pick up my phone and I start looking at things. And the first app I go to email first. The first app I go to after that is Discord, because we have the Discord server through our Patreon. And I want to make sure that it's not on fire. And this morning I woke up and it was on fire. So before we could go for a walk, I had to like temporarily fix things, which it's handled. It's fine. Shit happens. But then we get up, we go. So I'm already rattled before I even get out of the bed. Because I'm like, I haven't even wiped the crusties out of my eyes. This is a little early. But I am too panicky and too, to have gone, it can wait till 7 o'clock. No, it had to be done right then. Or would never, I couldn't have. Oh my God. So then we're a few minutes late getting out for a walk. We go for a walk. Our crazy fucking neighbor who can't keep their pets inside has allowed out at 5:30 in the damn morning. They're basically, the dog's a puppy, but like an older puppy. Not quite teenage dog, but not a baby. Like right in that stage of the ain't got not a fucking manner. And that dog stood at the end of his driveway and used his big boy bark. And it's a strange dog. We don't know. Is he protecting the homestead? Or is he trying to play? We don't fucking know. And the dog, in the middle of barking at us with the big boy voice, got the fucking zoomies. Because he's essentially a baby. And we were out there for a couple of minutes before the woman came out and was like, oh, let me try and get him. I'm so sorry. It took her 5 minutes to get him. And he was steady zooming around the front yard.
That yard, boy.
I was like, oh my God. So I don't know if that was a shorter walk today. Maybe we just picked up the pace. That's what it was.
No, we walked the same amount.
Did we?
Yeah.
Have you mapped our... Because JB leads the routes. I just said, please don't take me into total darkness at 5:30 in the morning. Go where there are street lights. And he told me I could pick the pace, and then I found myself following him, and I was like, I am not setting the pace here. But I follow him on the route.
Monday you definitely did.
I know, but then I watched JB have that moment that I think many of us have had of having to, not behind, but with, walk slower than you possibly want to. Thankfully, he wasn't behind me, because that's one of the most frustrating things. But he still kept pace with me, and it wasn't as fast as he was. Not when I'm first starting out. you gotta warm this engine up, okay? I need a good 5 minutes.
I am a bit out of practice myself, okay? I use, there was a time I used to walk, man,
You were a power walker.
Oh, yeah.
I used to. I used to walk 5Ks and, actually care about beating a time.
So, I need to kind of...
Yes, but our fitness levels are not evenly matched.
True.
So your
True.
slow is my, oh goodness, I'm huffing and puffing a little bit here.
Yeah. So,
God.
and my sneakers are not...
Mine neither. My sneakers are really bad. I really need to replace them, but that has not been a priority, and so we'll work on it. It'll be fine. I'm still going.
You have a good night.
So, and it really, can I blame whatever today's focus thing was on the stupid walk for my stupid mental health? Am I like this now because I got up at 5:30 and went for a walk? Mm-hmm. Can I use that as the? It's not me. It's the stupid walk at 5:30.
And silent, yes, it is still dark at 5:30. But as
summer progresses.
Yeah, well, we're almost at the 21st, which is
True.
the longest day of the year anyway.
But
it, yes, at 5:30 it is still dark. But by the time we wake up, get dressed, and get outside, it is starting to get light.
Yeah,
it's not totally
I wouldn't read a
dark
book by it, but
No.
you can see the sky lightening.
I'm not going to be sunbathing either, but it's light.
But even as we get a little bit closer to the equinox or whatever, sunrise will back up a little bit. Right now, our sunrise is at 6:30. The full official sunrise. I want to say right at the equinox we get to about 6:15 when we get sunrise. So we'll get a couple weeks where it'll lighten up a little bit more.
Oh yeah.
And then we'll be on the other side.
And then it'll start going the other way, yeah.
But the nice thing is once it gets cool and the time changes, we'll just walk in the evening and it'll be okay. Yeah. So.
Yep.
But, what else? I don't want to talk about too much because we got Saturday.
Yeah.
I know. And I don't think enough interesting things are going to happen between now
well,
and
I was just going to say, that just means we got to do shit between now and then.
I got work to do. That's plenty. I only have one more doctor's appointment with the kid this week, so that was good. I
know, the way you were saying, I thought there was going to be several doctor's appointments every day this week.
No, that's just me and the hyperbolic way I speak.
I figured that.
It was 3 appointments over the course of the week, and for me that was just a bunch of fucking appointments.
Yeah.
But also there was a phone call with a teacher that had to be factored in, stuff. But yeah, the 14-year-old is still on his health journey, but we are getting more answers, so that is nice.
We're getting
and
more
solutions.
answers, and we're starting to make little tiny progresses here.
Yeah, it's only been a couple days, and I'm already seeing it.
Yes.
We discovered a delightful health professional that's on the kids' team, dietitian, who was so delightful. We were quoting him as we walked back to the car.
Right on, right on.
Right on, right on. Every time he was asking the kid questions, I was trying to not to talk too much, but kind of supply stuff. And if what he heard was either usable information or I think positive information, he would, before he would tell us the medical thing, his first response was right on. We've walked around this house for the rest of the week just going right on. He was wonderful. He was fucking wonderful.
He was I liked him.
I liked him too.
I liked him. He explained a lot of things.
Yeah.
I mean, he went over.
I got a whole medical lesson in that. It was amazing.
And he did it in a way that we all understood it.
Yes, without being condescending.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it was, that in and of itself was just amazing. I mean, it helped me even learn some things about myself.
I know. I haven't been able to have dessert for the past couple nights since learning a few things. I'm like, damn it. I don't have 3 hours to sit upright after I eat this.
Right.
So I can fully digest.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah. I know. But no, he was a big help, and
silent. I absolutely thought about Matthew McConaughey while he was talking. Maybe he's just heavily influenced by Matthew McConaughey, and Matthew McConaughey is his personal hero.
Yeah.
I'm here for that.
Yeah. So, but no, with some of the stuff he was talking about. We have started slowly implementing it, and just in a few days we have started seeing some positive, small but positive changes.
Yeah, and for how deep some of the issues went to even see, I mean, I didn't expect to see changes at all this quickly, but small ones it's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll follow up with the dietitian right on at the end of the month, which will also be the kids. The kid's GI doctor is retiring, and the kid's appointment with him is the dude's last day. And we also learned at this appointment, because he's retiring from age, I don't know. We also learned that apparently those in the office who work with the GI doctor
call him Grandpa.
I hope it was said with love and affection.
Right. I hope it's meant as a term of endearment.
Exactly. So, Kim said, could we go back to the no dessert because of the 3 hours thing? One of the things the dietitian explained to us, we were talking about what the kid is dealing with. And so the thing he wants him to do is, I think specifically because of this, but I think it's a best practice. And that is, the reason it's recommended that you don't eat something heavy or eat food and then immediately go to bed is because apparently once you lay flat, your body, you stop digesting, right? And so if you eat too much and immediately go to bed, that's kind of why you wake up feeling like crap. So the recommendation for the kid is after his last meal, he needs to sit at least 45-degree angle or more up so that his body is still working and digesting.
Right.
3 hours before for at least 3 hours. So in that way, it was really 3 hours before bed, but that kid stays up late. So it's for 3 hours.
See, I'd
never heard that before.
None of us have had, we're aware of the fact, when he was telling us that when you lay down,
everything stops.
Everything stops
Which
working.
Which makes sense.
Everything stops working. He explained to us the whole process of how when you swallow.
I mean, we had diagrams on the paper on the
He had diagrams going and everything, and
it was a whole ass lesson.
He showed us
this is a teaching hospital, so I'm pretty sure he's used to that, or a teaching facility. So he's used to doing the teaching part. So what's happening is it might be 9 o'clock before I go, fuck, I want a dessert. And I'm like, but I'm not sitting up until now for something like dessert. Do you need the 3 hours? Probably not, but the dietitian, right on, has not told me otherwise yet.
Lola agrees.
So,
you just want attention?
But, yeah. So, yeah, it's really fucked up my ability to eat dessert this past couple days, which is not a bad thing. I'm pretty sure
no.
I didn't need too much more dessert.
No.
But yeah, now I'm like paying attention to the clock when I eat something. I'm like, well, it's dinner time. We're not going to bed too soon. It's fine. But yeah, it's kind of, I don't think it's kind of, it is a relief to feel like we have not just answers, because the kid was getting diagnoses left, right, and center. But then there's like, hey, here's the thing you do about this.
Right.
And what I really liked about the dietitian, he was like, here's why this happens. Here's how this happens.
Yes.
And it was aligning with everything we'd been watching happen for like 3 years. And we were like, oh, I see where that happened. Okay, that makes sense to me. So that's nice. It was nice.
It was refreshing.
Yeah, and a little bit of a weight lifted. Because it was like, oh, we have a team here. We have a team working on this issue, because this issue is the kind of issue that sends people to hospitals. And we've been looking at the kid going, is that where we're headed? Are we going to a hospital? Hopefully not.
It was a weight lifted, but very encouraging to see the small changes in the short time.
Well, also...
That gives hope.
Well, also... reminding ourselves that these things aren't linear, so we'll do loop-de-loops and go back and go forward and go up and go down, but
Yep.
yeah.
What she said.
So yeah, aren't y'all glad we were talking about digestion and dietitian stuff and GI stuff, and that's what you come to the bonus section for, don't you? I know that it is. Yeah, no, it's typical stuff. It's work. It's always work, but then it's medical stuff.
Yeah.
And it's dogs with big boy voices. That's what we got this week. Yep. We got to minimize, because we got all Saturday night. But if you've never been to a evening live stream, like a Friday night, and this one will be a Saturday night, it gets random. It gets chaotic. It's chaotic on purpose. Like, that's the point. We talk about fucking everything. Not actually fucking everything, but many, many, many topics. That's what...
So it's almost 8:30. Are we going to have time for dessert tonight or no?
We would have to sit up right until 11-ish.
11:30.
You want to watch 3 episodes of Bridgerton? I don't want to get through season 2 and Queen Charlotte too fast, because I don't want to start season 3 until I can watch all of season 3. I mean, I'm thinking for a small thing like dessert, you probably don't need the full 3 hours.
Yeah.
Because he did say after dinner, which is typically the larger meal. With the way the kid's eating right now, it's his largest meal. So, maybe there can be dessert.
Well, you know what? You said you don't want to rush through. You said you don't want to brush through Bridgerton.
I don't. I want to get through it too fast.
I think last season of Sweet Tooth is out.
Feel free.
I know you're not. You weren't.
It was okay. It just wasn't one that like I was riveted. Like
I liked.
I know.
I have liked that
you were
series.
you were definitely into it.
Yeah.
I will say the most recent Doctor Who episode was better, or was also still good. The end, when you realize more clearly what the actual point of this episode was. Whoo!
Yeah.
Whoo! Yeah, it was powerful. I would imagine people who actually live through racism may have a different take, or may have spotted the signs much quicker than we did. But yeah, it was a good episode, and then it was jarring, and I was like, holy shit! I thought we were here to have a little space adventure and save people. Okay, we did something different this time.
Very different.
And I mean, it's stuck with me since we watched it, and I do count it as one of the top episodes for this season so far. I mean, which isn't hard to do, considering the first 2 were so disappointing. I'm not going back into that rant. I'm sure Saturday night somebody will get me into that rant, because Friday we need to watch the next episode of Doctor Who.
See, there you go.
So on that note, you want to go watch Sweet Tooth because this new season just came out, yeah? Or no, I thought it comes out tomorrow.
Maybe tomorrow.
I don't remember.
Yeah, maybe Thursday or Friday, I think.
What are
it'll drop.
dates?
Whatever.
What are numbers? That's not
Yeah.
my job.
It'll be there.
But now we need to go have the debate about, can we have dessert and sit upright? That's the real decision to be made around here.
I know.
Okay. We're going to go. I got to put timestamps in. We got stuff to do.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for being here, especially to the bitter end. Hopefully we'll see you again on Saturday.
You can join us. And and come hang with us Saturday night.
Podcast folks, if you don't normally get to do it and you're free Saturday night. I know for some people it's difficult because this is Pride Month and there's lots of events going on and it's the weekend and there's kink events and it's the weekend. Like, I get it. We will miss you. But if you can, you got time.
I don't think it was Moffat, Kim.
In the live chat, Kim asked, curious as to whether or not the most recent was written by Stephen Moffat. I don't know.
I don't think it was.
I don't know.
Anywho.
Mm-hmm. We're going to go now.
We're gonna go.
Thanks
for being here.
Yep, all that. We love y'all.
Night.
Bye.